All right, here we go. All right, man, we're gonna get this bad boy started. Listen, we've been trying to get this thing happening for the last few weeks, man. Finally, our schedules lined up, so we were able to make it happen. And it's crazy because one thinks to himself, how do we make this happen? You know, how's said person gonna stay anonymous? How are we gonna keep them from being recognized by the masses? And it's crazy because if you followed this particular person, this entity that is IPF Central, you've noticed that the following has grown, the impact has grown, the message keeps getting bigger and bigger. And when they start getting big time, when they start getting discount codes, when they start getting the codes and everything. And so we're at the point at a crossroads in powerlifting where either you got it or you don't. Either you put up or you shut up. And if you don't, you're going to be held accountable by somebody out there. There's always eyes watching. And now we have the all-seeing eye. Mr. IPF Central here with us, ladies and gentlemen. Big ups. Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that.
So, as I said, your following is growing. Your impact and your growth is just on this huge upward trajectory. So there may be some people out there that know exactly who you are. But for those of us that are living under a rock, give us a quick rundown of who you are, what you do, and what you're about. The floor is yours, my friend.
Got you, Doug. You fell for the same trick everybody falls for. So it actually says IPF Central. There's no R in there.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah. So it's called. I don't know if you're somebody into hoops, but if you've ever been on Twitter, NBA Central, fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And a ton of people don't know that. Obviously, if you're powerlifting, you probably don't know ball. It's just that you care about powerlifting.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
But that's one of those huge things. Everybody always is just I thought it was Central for the longest time.
Work.
Yeah.
Anyway. And the thing is, when you look at it, you don't even notice that there's no...
Exactly, right? So, when you see a lot of times on your feed, you're like, this is a news page. This is IPF Central. That's the whole shtick with it. Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah,
you know what? Then off rip, my bad. IPF Central.
No, you're good,
all right, the floor is yours. You got it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, so, like you said, our page has been growing like crazy. Right now, the person you see right here is the face of it. I will say there's other people behind the scene, but right now, if you've tried to deduce who I am and what's going on, you've deduced me, but there's a lot of other people involved in this thing. This thing is a lot bigger than people think. But off rip, I'm somebody that's been in social media for a while now, and if you've able to track down things I've posted on other places, you can see the trend. But I've always been really, really good at getting numbers, getting clicks, and finding exact niches. Back when I was in school, we had one of the national branches for one of these media companies, and we started at 0, went up to 15K in only a couple years. And so I've always been good at getting this algorithm stuff down. And again, I've also been powerlifting for a while. And so I've always had friends at pretty high places, been in the sport for a while, been really interested in the sport. And one of my buddies had this IPF Central account tag, right? Nobody was logged into it. I think there was one post on there with Russ getting his face plastered over Maduro's arrest. It was just a photo of Russ getting arrested just for no reason. But Nationals was coming up and everybody was talking their shit on King of the Lips podcast. And I'm like, they're all talking shit, but nobody's really doing anything about it, right? Unless you're really tapped in, you're listening to the podcast or you see the clips circling around somewhere, nobody's paying attention. What if we just take all that shit and just put it out everywhere, right? So if you go to the bottom of the page, there's clips of Celine and Janae talking shit, or there's videos of me making fun of Mike for cutting down 3 weight classes, and it was a fucking video of him being a skeleton, which he came out looking at that's how he looked at Nationals, right? And so we just slowly started picking up, and getting these posts out, just kind of poking fun at people in just the right way to where it's a joke, but there's a little bit of truth behind it. It's just the perfect amount of satire. And then so I ended up I live somewhat close to the area where Nationals was this year. So I ended up being in the area for that. And because of that, I got to get really in there. And that's when the real niche posts started, right? Oh, the music's not on the venue. Oh, Yves Gonzalez is losing his mind while Jonathan Garcia didn't hit his last deadlift. These are all things I saw in person, right? I'm there watching it happen. And so that's what really set people off. They're hold on, he's among us. He's here. And everybody's being held accountable now because he could be anywhere here.
I was one of those people because when you start looking, I was wait, this is way too specific. Okay, here's the thing. It's one thing, and if you know socials, you'll know that there's always a bit of a delay in terms of when something happens and when it's reported.
Hmm.
Especially, I mean, now when you use like bigger mediums, when you're using like IG and you're in a niche like powerlifting, usually when something grand or something trash happens, you have at the best you might have an hour or two delay from the time that happens to the time it's reported.
Hmm.
But this stuff was happening way too quickly. I'm like, all
Hmm.
right,
Exactly, right? Like that was the
dudes
big thing that was
around here.
happening.
Yeah, and then here's the thing, like kind of how you said. I like how you said like it's more than just me. I'm just the face of it. For those of us that have been following for a while, and here's the thing. I'll admit I'm one of those. I'm the one of the world's greatest ghost followers. I'm not gonna follow it directly because I'm like, man, I don't want them to be plugged into me do something stupid, and they have access to me immediately. Like, I want them to
Hmm.
dig a little bit if I end up doing something stupid. I openly admit that.
Yeah.
Now, and then like I don't even know like after I want to say day three
Hmm.
at Nats this year. I was like, nah. This is happening way too quick. Stuff's
Yeah.
being reported way too fast. Like, and it's like and again, if you're in the socials, it's about the timing. Like when it's happening, like if you're there, you've seen it live, and you see it. All right, this happened. This stuff is being reported within an hour, less than, and in some
Hmm.
cases, the story was going nuts. So I'm like, all right,
Hmm.
they're around here. He's around here, and it's
Yeah.
it's cool that you say it's more than just me because like there's no way. How can this person be everywhere at all at the same time? Like there's no way,
Exactly,
and
right.
and so, but again, one can't just assume like what this is more than one person. You always have to assume like this is one person. They're just really really good at what they do.
Hmm.
But I'm glad you said it because like I had my suspicions, but I wasn't one of those like I'm like oh yeah, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also like I don't know man either dude's really really good or he's got a lot of help. Either way, it's one of those things where it's so entertaining, it's so on the nose, it's so hilarious, and at the
Hmm.
same time, like you said, it's so much. There's always a little bit of life that's imitated in that art, and
Hmm.
vice versa. Like, all right, well, I mean, he's not completely off base. He's not wrong. He may not be 100% right, but
Hmm.
something that's said is like it's gonna strike a chord with somebody. So
Exactly, right.
I honestly, man, it's an art. And
It really
anybody that
is.
says otherwise just doesn't. Well, I mean, you might be a stick in the mud, but there's art to this. So as
Hmm.
far as the art of, I don't even know if I don't want to. Would you call it the art of memes? Like I
I,
don't even know
I,
if
I I think this is just like modern age satire. This is the best
yeah.
satire you can do in the sport of powerlifting right now. I think that's what really set us apart.
Well,
Um,
okay,
again,
so
with the, sorry, go ahead.
with it, sorry, not to oh crap, not to cut you off, but in the whole the art of satire, in the in
Hmm.
the in the world of satirical posting,
Hmm.
what especially with powerlifting, what makes it in your opinion, what makes it a hit specifically?
So I think there's like a couple things that really set us apart. Because obviously there's been a lot of other pages that have been around. I like squat meme deadlift has been around forever. Subpar powerlifting memes has been around forever. There's a bunch of other smaller pages, but they haven't picked up the traction that we did. The two big things that we had going in our favor was one, nationals being right around the time where we were in attendance and being able to post that quickly and especially posting that nichely, right? There was stuff that was like happening that like unless you were there, you had no idea what was happening. One of the big things I noticed when I was there was after I'm not sure why, but the platforms that they had nationals, they just use really cheap plywood. And by the time the morning sessions were done, not even prime time, there was literal divots in the platform. So lifters in the prime time session would have to move the bar back or forth really far to get out of those. And again, like if you're not there, you have no idea what that's about. But when you're there, you know exactly what that's about. You're like, what is this? What's going on? And then that gets sent around, right? And then people start talking. So that's one of those big things that set us apart. The second one is I have like again, I like my team isn't huge. I'll say that. There's not a ton of us, but we have ties to a lot of places and a lot of people that are higher up in this sport. One of my big fears, again, like there's been people that have able to successfully deduce who I am. I unfortunately have it running my mouth, especially when I'm like what's called when I was in Tahoe. Like I ran my mouth more than I should have, but again, some people have deduced it, and my big fear with that kind of stuff is like I don't care personally. Like it's whatever to me. At the end of the day, it's all jokes, it's all fun. I'm like it's whatever. I don't want like my messages to go reflect people on badly that are involved in my life. That's the big thing. And so before we even get into like the satire stuff, I do want to talk about that real quick. But like even like at a base level, I have so much respect for everybody I post about because if you're getting posted on this page, you've done something good enough to where like people are recognizing you anyway, right? Like again, you see a lot of posts about Team Flex, right? I have like there's a, it's again, it's an easy target. Like Team Flex is the are the Joey and his family and his team are like arguably the most accomplished group in powerlifting. Like it's hard to argue against that, right? If you think Team Flex, you know they mean business, right? They have some of the top
Absolutely.
competitors. They've been on the world stage every single year, and I have so much respect for these guys, right?
Right.
But at the same time, there's got to be like you got to be like you don't stay at the top if you can't take some heat, right?
Right.
And
Well,
so
it's you can become big enough.
mm,
That target is going to automatically aim itself at you. You know what I mean? And
exactly
like,
right.
and I mean, and I can definitely, I mean, I can agree with that. I mean,
Mm,
because here's the thing: if you're the biggest show in town, you know what I mean. Like, people are going to treat you like you're the only show in town.
exactly.
And Flex is synonymous with champions. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
so you're gonna get the hate, you're gonna get the comments, you're gonna get the commentary, you're gonna get the satirical humor that's gonna be
Mm.
behind it. But at the same time, like, you made a really good point. If you're not getting anything said about you, you're not doing anything that's
You're
important
not
enough for
doing
people
it
to
what
even
they're talking
care.
about.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And I do agree. Like, it's just, I mean, and some of them, they're so big that they're just the lowest hanging fruit. Like, oh, well, it's right,
Mm,
they're right there. Like, why not? You
exactly.
know what I mean? Someone else is gonna say it, but I bet you I can say it better than they can, and
Exactly.
in a funnier way. So yeah, please
Mm.
continue.
Yeah, but no, I just want to get that like out publicly, really. That like everybody I do post about, I have tremendous respect for. I know like one that didn't get really good reception was me saying Amanda Progress or Amanda Lawrence like makes same totals every meet, right? Amanda Lawrence is arguably one of the best female powerlifters of all time and owns the weight class. Like that's like I look up to Amanda Lawrence as like this is like one of my favorite fighters ever, right? But again, it's a fact that this has happened, right? Like like the progress hasn't shown like at the rate you thought. And again, it's somebody I look up to and have a lot of respect to. But at the same time, you got to be able to take that joke. If you're like, hey, I need to prove this person wrong, even though I'm like some faceless entity. But
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna be the person that fights for Amanda because I
Yeah,
love
that's fair.
Amanda. That's one of
I love
well,
Amanda.
you know what? I will say this because very few of us. I don't know that there's anybody aside from maybe Jesus and Ray that'll
Mm,
and there's a few in the European side that have really just owned a weight class for such a long time that it's almost one of those things where
they're like
you're not
synonymous
going
with weight class.
yeah, you're not going to beat them, they're going to beat themselves,
Hmm.
and almost to the point where if there's somebody out there to push her, then maybe we'll see that total
Hmm.
that push past whatever. But I mean, in this day and age, especially when it's about longevity, especially on that female side of lifting, man, like I mean, there's been a change of guard, fewer times I would say than on the men's side, but
Oh, of
for
course.
her to have such a long string of dominance,
Hmm.
and at the end of the day, like, all right, so what do I need to win? Okay, cool, let's do that. Okay, and I
Hmm.
got the chef feed coming up later on. Okay, what do I need to do? Make some cheese off of that. Okay, let me do that. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
do you really have to push the total over and over and over?
Exactly right.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's great to be king, but it's even better to be queen when you're
Hmm.
winning as much as you're winning. Like, so do I
Exactly right.
really have to push it? And again, I don't know what these camps do. I have no
Hmm.
clue what's going on in these camps. Even though I know a lot of the coaches in the camp, I know Joey personally and the whole Flex crew. But I also know that what, if I'm going up there and like what, we just need you to total 600. All right, cool. I'll
Hmm.
give you 605. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. So what I need next year? 605 and a half. Cool, I'll do that. That's my record. I'll just beat it by because because someone could argue like, all right, well, it's my record. So
Hmm.
I just got to do just a little bit more, over
Yeah.
my record. I mean, it's mine; it belongs to me. Until somebody comes and challenges that, I'm not gonna have to push myself beyond. I mean, God forbid somebody really step into her territory and get because we never really see Amanda like really like getting just like straight up pissed like I'm gonna kill everybody type. She
Yeah.
goes in, she's such a great sport, just a loving person, goes out there, does her thing, and then she's out. Like,
Hmm.
I would love to see one day for Amanda to be like, all right, you know what, these chicks are coming for my crown. All right, bet. You want to see what I really can do? And then she does something absolutely like ridiculous and like, all right, you know what? Everything I said, I take back. And again, kind of alluding back to what you said, hey, you know what? Prove me wrong. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
I feel that for sure.
I
But
think
please
I think
continue.
that's one of the real big arts of satire, right? So like at a base level, I would say satire is like kind of pointing out the absurdity in things, and I think that's like one of our big goals with things that we post, right? We don't want to just make stupid jokes. Oh, ho, ha, I overshot my week 7 or week 4 like RP7, like whatever. That's been done so many times. Let's go after things that are like so out there, they're absurd, and report them as fast as we can to where like it's got people talking about it, right? On top of so like take the 83s, right? The whole Jaden Lowe fiasco. Again, like it's not Jaden's fault. It was like I've actually been affected by this exact thing with lifting cast. Lifting cast is just like kind of stupid on like how their projected totals work, and sometimes if you read the wrong number, you just complete fucked. That happened to me before, and I tied on total. But like it's just one of those things that was like so absurd that it happened. And like Joey's a good coach. This is not something that happens frequently, right? Joey's objectively breeds champions. Why did this happen? And so you want to poke fun at that. And
Yeah,
then
you
you're
have
like,
to.
you have to, right? And again, like Joey, from what I've talked to about him and like what I've heard, like he's a very good sport. Like he'll take it on the chin. He
Oh,
knows like he'll take it on the chin. He knows his
yeah,
game, love and game, like
absolutely.
just all love, right? But at the same time, like it's one of those things that it gets people talking. There's somebody
Yeah,
out there that's holding you accountable, and
absolutely.
that's something that hasn't existed in the sport before, right? Oh, somebody will say
Right.
something on a podcast, somebody will post it somewhere, you won't hear about it again, right? It's
Yeah.
done with, right? Now there's a
Well,
faceless person out there that's got ties everywhere. You gotta always be on watch
you got to be
because
on point.
exactly
Absolutely.
right. And so like maybe like if you want to take the most extreme example of this, right? The whole audio files that came out randomly with
With
Big Body.
that, yeah, dude,
Again,
that was
I
hilarious.
will
That was
say,
nuts.
I will say that's one of the most crazy. That's one of the craziest things I did. And like, I remember I posted that at night. I went to bed. I woke up and I had like 2,000 shares. So like, that was something a little out there for sure. And, and like, I do actually apologize to Big Mike. I felt like that was a little just kind of too much going out there.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think it
yeah,
was kind of like again, I know these files have been, like these audios have been around for a while, but like just kind of throwing it out there.
yeah.
But it was like at the same time, it's like, hey, I mean business. Like I have access to things that like if you're not watching yourself and you're just like doing too much out there, like this is like don't fuck around. Like
That
again,
was that was definitely powerlifting's Watergate moment for sure.
yeah,
I'm like,
for
wait,
sure. That's what I'm
what?
saying, right?
And big shout out to Big Body because I will say this, dude. Those dudes, I will say, lesser men have crumbled under far less pressure.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
and the fact that not only did he take it on the chin, and I mean, he was like, "I stand by it. I said what I said."
Hmm.
He never cowered from it. And I think that's been the cool thing about about this whole not necessarily just the audio files, but just a lot of people that have been held accountable over the past I would like to say over the past like year and change. It's been you've really noticed the tendencies of those like what I said, what I said, I did what I did, I stand by it. It is what it is.
Hmm.
And you see people's true colors like when they're really under that microscope. Because here's the thing: we all say us that are involved in this hobby that's on steroids
Hmm.
that we want powerlifting in the world. We want it to be
Yeah.
mainstream. We want it to be in the Olympics. We want it to be on every station on demand. We want to be able to like to eat off of this and on all the all that in the bag, right? But at the same time, with that comes the scrutiny. With that
Hmm.
comes people that are that were looking at you from a telescope now have you under a microscope, and
Hmm.
like
Exactly.
are we prepared for that? And there's some people when they when they get that little heat under their feet, like this isn't. I didn't sign up for this. I just lift weights. Oh, word, you just lift weights now? But what I'm saying when you're top setting, you were you're the baddest man walking the planet. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or word, when you had the Twitter fingers, you were this, that, and the third. But now that someone's holding
Yeah.
you accountable, now that somebody's is dishing out what you were dishing out. Now you're a different person. Like now you're singing a different
Yeah.
tune. Now, meanwhile, you have people like again, we'll use Body for example because
Hmm.
he's a soup du jour.
Hey, live by the gun, die by the gun. He's still in business.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like he had a couple holes in the chest. Like it is what it is. That's a flesh wound. Let's keep rolling.
That's
And
what I'm saying, bro.
you have to respect a person like that. And again, I've had a few private conversations with Body over the last few weeks and everything, man. And while he took his lumps, man. He took the negatives, you know what I mean. But there was also a lot of positivity that came out of it, And because people hold you down to till you have somebody else trying to hold you under, and then like
Yeah.
you find out like if are you really like a supportive? Are you supportive of what I'm doing, or are you just on the ride because I'm with the Flex Crew, man? And so shout out to those people that kept showing him support. Shout out to Body for taking it on the chin. Shout out to
Exactly.
you for the audio files because again, what I mean, this sport's boring. It's boring.
That's
Dude.
what I'm
So it's
saying,
like-
bro.
it's
You
like
gotta add some heat to it. You gotta have some
it's
spice.
a little bit
Remember,
of spice.
bro, I was in the back room the day after I posted that, and it was Marcellus's platform warm up right next to a Big Bodies. No eye contact. And everybody in that warm up room was whispering, bro. Everyone was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
like you see that last night?" And I'm like, that's what this sport needs. And I know like Big Body's a good guy. Like I have a lot of
Yeah,
respect for him. And like again, I do
absolutely.
like kind of regret just throwing that out there randomly without any. And but like again, it added like a little bit of like heat to it. And now Big Body stood on business. Like we know what he's about now.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
People are like, yo, like I fuck with this guy because he's standing on business. And at the same time, it's like,
absolutely.
yo, there's somebody else out there holding people accountable. I gotta be
Yeah,
careful.
and
And so
the
I
cool
think
thing.
again, it
Go
was
ahead.
kind of crazy, but like I, as a whole, after the whole thing, I think it's a net positive for most people involved. Again,
No,
it's
it
a
really
little
was because you really got to see there was more positivity that came out of it than negativity.
exactly right.
I can honestly tell you, like from the DMs, a lot of messages that I've gotten from just the past two podcasts that I've had with both camps. It's been so much positivity surrounding both camps, man. I'm like, all right, that's what's up. And the crazy part, it wasn't even. I mean, and you know as well as I know, it wasn't even the camps involved that were really making most of the static. It was everyone
Mm,
else around really
mm,
creating a lot of external noise, you know. And
mm.
I think there's a lot to be said because here's at this point, let's be 100 between. I mean, honestly, between the Flex crew and craftsmanship, dude,
Yeah,
there's really not a lot of camps that are really moving the needle in powerlifting like they are right
mm.
now. Let's just be 100.
Yeah.
So
You
the
say that, but like I'm gonna loop back around to that. I'll let you keep going in a
yeah,
second.
I'm innocent, and
Yeah,
there's some other ones, but I
yeah.
mean, as far as if you would have gone to this nationals and saw the people that are really moving the needle, the people that really getting the clicks. Let's the highlight of it was all. I mean, obviously was Ashton,
Mm,
doing the 400.5, and I mean, wait, what? And really
mm.
the way that I don't know if that was a setup, the way everything went down, the way it went down, but it was like there was so much like whispers, like, wait, man, what's going on, and
It
then
was like really a poetic ending to nationals like
yes,
that.
you know what I'm saying. So you see
Yeah.
what you see from my perspective how right now those two camps are what's moving the needle in powerlifting right
Mm,
now. And again, a lot of it has to do with I would say the audio leaks that definitely helps, but just the fact that there was so much external noise surrounding those two
there's just
camps.
more eyes on the sport because
Big
somebody out
facts,
there's putting something out there. Like
big facts,
there's a
big
reason to
facts,
watch. There's like
big facts.
again, like take UFC for example, right? Like I don't care too much about fighting, right? I know these two dudes hate each other because they're talking that much shit, and we just like don't
Absolutely,
have that kind of stuff in powerlifting. Like obviously we do a little bit. I know like
yeah,
Janae and Celine were talking trash, but like again they're
yeah,
friends at the end of the day. But
yeah.
like you need somebody else out there kind of just prodding at it, poking at it a little bit, making a little bit of fun.
There's a lot of angels on the shoulder. There has to be a devil on somebody's shoulder. You know
Exactly
what I mean?
right.
Like,
And
hey,
I'm
you know
okay
what?
with that. Like I'm
Like,
okay
you
with
gonna
just like
take that?
being the face, this guy that kind of just takes all the heat. Like
That's
I think that's what
awesome.
the sport needs. I think that's what grows it. And then like
Oh,
even like on the
good.
positives, right? I think like you said, like Flex and Marcellus like camps, they are the biggest sport things in powerlifting, right?
Right.
I think my platform allows like other people to be brought up through through what's going on through nationals, right? Alex
Absolutely.
Kano had two national champions. Like Janae Kovacs and Mike Slavic both won nationals,
Yeah.
and like Alex is like what 25 somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Evan Hawk just had Will Ball break the world record, and
Right.
like and then JM podiumed. Again, it's not something you expected, but like
Right.
now these younger guys are moving up, and there's somebody out there that's giving these people their flowers and
Oh,
getting clicks
absolutely.
into their camp as well. I think as a whole, what I'm doing is growing the sport because it's making it entertaining. There's somebody out
Absolutely.
there holding people accountable, kind of pushing it forward, and kind of doing crazy things that haven't really been done to the level that I'm doing.
And I think that's really what it's all about at the end of the day is really, really just shedding light on as many people as possible to
Hmm.
grow the sport. Because I mean, the NBA is amazing, but unfortunately, we don't have a Jordan that's gonna like make it like super global. You know what I mean? It's gonna take a ton of eyes, a ton of cooperation from a lot of people to make this thing grow. And it's really kind of like you said. I mean, the best. Really, the best sport to even mirror ourselves after would really be something like the UFC, where you have a ton of talent and you really start shedding light on all that talent. I mean, the one thing that's always fueled the UFC is, of course, like you said, has been controversy. Has been, hey, I like this guy, I don't like that guy. I like this girl, I don't like that girl. I like what he's saying, I don't like what he's saying. I mean, you got, Kobe Covington, saying the most outlandish stuff. You have a Conor McGregor saying the most outlandish stuff. While you might not be a fan of fighting in general, you're gonna crack up on some of the stuff they say.
Exactly. And even if you're not watching
yeah,
fighting, right? Like you'll see it
absolutely.
on social media. You'll see like a ESPN like he said this crazy shit. You're like, I'm invested now. Like it's
Yeah,
just
I want to
popping up
know.
on my
Yeah.
feed.
Like, I don't
Exactly,
know who
right.
this
I
dude
think that
is, but yeah, he said he's gonna knock this dude out. Okay, well, cool. Let's check it out. So I do believe that there's a place for it, because at the end of the day, we all get in this thing to have fun. It's entertaining, but at some point, I mean, and I know that you can agree with this. At some point, there's a we get to this point where we think of it more than really what it is, which is
yeah,
a
I
bunch
agree.
of people lifting weights, putting it back down. But somehow we found out a way to try to make it rocket science. It's
Mhm.
not, man.
It's
You know
really
what I mean?
not. I
And
think that's yeah. It's just really just
it's
not a hard
not. It's
sport.
really not that hard. You know what I mean? Like, if it were that hard, it's just not that hard. I don't want to.
I
I
think
don't
if
want to.
this sport was harder, it would grow faster. I just think because
Yeah.
it's so easy. There's just so many
I mean,
dumb
like,
people in this sport.
there's Joes that walk off the street that can outlive anybody on that platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and just some days you just see like, wait, what? How is this 18-year-old just did my total for sets of 5? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
there's just. I mean, strength is a respecter of no person. It doesn't, it's if you got it, you got it. So there's that. But then at the end of the day, it's like, all right, well, if we all can do the same thing, what's the point of differentiation? Well, how well can we be entertained? Can this be entertaining?
Exactly.
And I think you guys, your camp has really become the masters in the art of finding ways to entertain people through obviously through the satire. My question, I guess, to you is, I mean, part of it, creates a little bit of controversy, but somehow you've managed to create controversy without chaos.
Yeah, mostly.
For the most part, it hasn't been chaotic. But how have you mastered the art of chaos? I mean, controversy without chaos, because I'm telling you, there's a fine line, and I don't know how you've managed to do that, because normally people they'll get one or the other, but they don't know how to skirt the line. How have you been able to do that? Floor's yours.
I think it's kind of a balance, right? So again, I've been doing this for a while, and again, before this, I was doing it in college, right? I was poking fun at guys that were making millions on NIL deals. So there's a lot more to lose there. Like you can't fuck up and say, oh, he's just a piece of shit. Like he gets these crazy things, because there's actual consequences. Again, there's gonna be consequences if I go crazy here too, but like again, the scope is a lot smaller because it's powerlifting. It's really just finding a line between what's called trying to take the message that you have. So, example, like take like what's it called. I'm trying to think of something that happened recently. Take the Jay and Lowe thing again, right? Again, this is like an objectively bad thing. Like he calculated his camp calculator wrong. They couldn't pull for podium because of that, right? How do we take something that's not like a positive thing and set it up in a humorous setting, right? Let's have a video of somebody crashing out at their screen and losing their mind, and then frame this event in a humorous way. So it's like, okay, Jane Lowe's obviously gonna be mad. Let's just post a funny video of like Jane Lowe after he paid Joey Flex $400 to lose, right? Like, again, you take something that's bad and you have to frame it in a way that's funny while also not undermining the situation. Another one that I really liked that I posted was like the 66s, right? Avilio Gonzalez, he got podium from the open session, right? I posted a video of an 8-year-old kid like on his live stream being like, I'm better than y'all, I'm more known than y'all, and it's just like these multi-layered humor, because like obviously Eve's not gonna say that out loud, but he is better than y'all, he is more known than y'all. Like you gotta find a way to express these things in a way where these people can express it themselves, but also not undermining the situation. And just like finding that line is really, really hard at the beginning. But again, once you really get into it, once you've been doing it for a while, it just kind of becomes second nature. Even now, like I'll be scrolling my feed on my other accounts, I'll just be seeing clips of just random shit. Like it's just like an unrelated meme. I'll save it, I'll send it to myself and be like, hey, if I ever need to keep this for something, I'll just like randomly think of just random
Yeah.
captions for it, right?
I,
And so
I
like,
do ha- I'm sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
I don't want you to lose that train of thought, because I want you to answer this question after you're done with that. So, has there been something? Because I gotta know. Because I mean, just you guys won't be able to hear it, because I'm gonna change this tone up, so you're not gonna be able to hear the inflection. So I guess I have two things. One, it's just my observation. Like, you do this. Like, I don't think if people. I think if you ever listen to a person talk and you listen to like their passion behind their voice in the like how, what's the word I'm looking for? How passionate they are in terms of how they speak on something. Bro, you really do this. Like you do this. And I'm excited. Listen to how excited you are about what you're talking about. For those you guys are gonna be listening and watching, you're not gonna be able to hear a lot of that the change in his inflection and his tone because I'm obviously gonna dead that down. You really do this. You're passionate about this. This means something to you. And I think that's something I want to make sure that I mention to people, because here's the thing. You and your camp, you're gonna catch the heat that you always get, but I also want people to understand that there's not a lot of lifters that have a lot of passion. At this point, a lot of times they're just doing it just because they don't have anything else to do. To listen to how excited you are about this, how passionate you are about what you're doing, how this is something that you take seriously. While it is satirical in a huge way, it's also important to you. And at the same time, because I don't feel like the growth in following is an accident. I do feel like that's a direct reflection of the effort that you've put in, the passion that you have. And just listening to you, I have to stop you for a second, dog, and let you know, like, just listening to you and how excited and excitable and exciting like you sound when you speak on this, man. I get it. I'm starting to get it.
I appreciate it, bro. I'll let you know right now, actually. But like I'm gonna make a little small announcement towards the end. But I don't think you have to actually edit my voice for this because I got something that'll help. Make sure you don't have to towards the end.
Okay, all right, bet. Yeah. I guess my question, I want you to finish that but I wanted to make sure before we finish that I had to let you know, man, because I didn't want to let that slip. Has there ever been something? Obviously, once you don't answer your question, has there ever been something that you posted, you're like, oh, dude, that was too far. That may have been a little too far. That's the following question after you're done with this.
Oh fuck! I might have to look at my phone, bro. Like, I might have to check. I don't think here's the thing, because I've been doing it for so long. Like,
yeah.
And I've been able to hide how I like kind of skirt around humor like really well. And so I don't think I've ever posted something that was like so outlandish, so crazy that like it kind of undermines somebody's value and like all the work they put in and stuff. Let me see. Because again, like I'm also somebody that's in this sport and I have lifters I like and don't like. Just natural, like as everyone does, right? Let me see if I actually posted anything like I don't think I posted anything super crazy. I think some of the stuff I posted about the 83s, just not caring about anybody. But Joe, like, that stuff was a little funny.
But there's
like,
never been
again,
one,
like the audio files are kind of nuts, but
yeah, I mean, but there's never been anything that you've posted in the past, like maybe not prior to posting, but maybe after it hit, you're like, ooh, maybe this one was a little bit more, maybe it did. Maybe not even numbers. Like maybe it's just like it had an impact. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't think it was gonna have this kind of impact. This is one I just like like this one's for me. This one's for the boys. Like one that you just posted like, whoa, this moved numbers and had more of an impact than I thought it was gonna have.
Which one actually did crazy? So like, kind of looping back around to like the impact of like what powerlifting has had. Again, I am really passionate about this. I think this sport has done a lot for me, and I really do care about the growth of this sport. Outside of this whole shit that I got going on, I do like a lot of volunteer work. I do like a lot of things to give back to the sport of powerlifting.
Right.
But one of the big things I think that went out like really viral recently was I got sent emails from the IPF recently, or from Powerlifting America. Powerlifting America was testing out some new email system, and they sent out referee calls for age divisions 6 times, and one of them just said, "Is this working?
Is this working?" Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, like this is stupid. I'm gonna post it, right? Like this is dumb. This is objectively like a horrible. I don't even have to write anything. Like it's just dumb. But I think that's one of those things. Like I don't really regret it, but I think that's one of those things that pushes the sport because everyone's like, "Holy fuck, these people are stupid. Like they're genuinely idiots here." Like we need to like get in there and fix this because like we can't have our sport's just gonna die if we keep letting this happen.
Right.
And so like I think there's like sport like posts like that where I didn't realize the impact of them until I posted it. There was another one like I posted like a fake SBD singlet yesterday for April Fools. That one went super viral.
That was nuts. So I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It took me a little bit. Yeah, I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Nice. Well done. I will say this. I first of all, shout out to A7. They are great people, close personal friends of mine. I had no clue though the USA singlet was dropping.
Yeah.
I found out it was dropping through your drop.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. Like, there's just so much information that gets conveyed through humor. I
Yeah,
don't think people realize that because you're just like, oh, that's funny. I want to look more into it because, like, maybe I thought it was funny. Maybe I don't fully get it though.
yeah,
I remember, like, one of the big things. This is again, like, this is kind of the impact that I want to have with the sport eventually. With Rising Tide coming out, right? Me,
yeah,
what's called our page and 110 and Papa or Kevin, we work together pretty closely. I
yeah.
consider him like one of the better friends of their page,
Right.
and we made like a satirical post about like Kevin just never announcing Rising Tide. He's like, oh, well, that's tomorrow,
Yeah,
tomorrow,
yeah, yeah.
and like we're making fun of him for it. He collabs on that page, and like the first instance of information we have about Rising Tide is it's in Philly, and that's in our comment section. That's pinned, and so that post gets sent around. Like
Yeah.
we're using humor to convey information,
No, absolutely.
and that's like growing the sport because of that, because it's funny, and on top of that, there's information being conveyed through it, and it's getting sent around.
No, the day I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to the day that you announce like the IPF Central powerlifting meet. That's what I look forward to.
Hey, we got some stuff cooking up with like some of the other companies we're working with. There is a chance I will. I'm planning on already being down for there for Rising Tide. My involvement level there is TBD, but I will be at Rising Tide running around doing all my
That's
shenanigans.
that's hilarious. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
At some point, you know what? I'm not hosting another meet till like 2020, late
Mm.
2026, 27. I'm gonna have you guys down, man. I'm gonna have to figure
Mm.
something out. I don't know. We might have to give you your own meet. We have to do something.
Yeah.
The Central
Oh,
Invitation or something, man. We're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to do
yeah.
something. I'll make sure I reach out, man, because like there's no way that it's, in my opinion, there's no way that you build this type of momentum, helping the sport as much as you are, and not reaping some type of benefit from it.
Mm.
Not being able to to reap some of the positivity that you put out there. As I can honestly tell you, just from my own personal experiences, I'm one of those like midnight doom scrollers. Like before I lay down, like I gotta laugh. I have to laugh before I
Yeah.
lay down. And I don't know how many posts I have saved at this point, in my life that I go back and I just crack up on.
Yeah.
It's literally my funny folder. Like it's weird saying it's refreshing, man, but it's just some people that just don't take it serious. You know what I mean? They take it serious enough to you give flowers where flowers are due, but at the same time, like in those flowers, there's gonna be a couple of weeds. Just like, hey, I'm gonna
Yeah.
remind you,
Exactly.
like,
Roses
listen,
got
it smells,
thorns, bro. Roses
yeah,
got
big
thorns.
big facts. Like, okay, so I guess I do have a question, and I've never counted, man, but I always feel like, why does Russ catch? Dude, he catches so many strays. A
Yeah,
lot of
I
he catches a lot of direct shots, but bro,
I'm sorry, he just be posting bullshit. It's like grown ass man, bro. We can't be doing this. Like this dude's like 31, bro. You got like a 401k. You got taxes. Like we're doing anime audios, bro. What do you mean Gear 5? Like what are we doing? Like I know it was Russ a lot, bro. But what if we send the group chat and like some audio dropped and I'm like, come on, bro. We just posted
Y'all
Russ
leave-
yesterday.
Listen, man, y'all leave Russ alone, man. He's gonna make it for a little bit. God.
No, Russ, bro. Russ is like one of my favorite powerlifters of all time. Like he's one of the first people that got me into powerlifting. I love Russ, but oh my god, some of the stuff I see, I'm just like, yo, what are we doing, dog? What are we doing?
Man, listen, I gotta say this, man, because you know what I mean. Russ is, I mean, arguably the most. I'm trying to get myself right. The most widely known powerlifter breathing right now, and like talk about just low hanging fruit, bro. I'm like, all right, here we go. Man, y'all
And
leave
it's
that.
not like we want to I love Russ, right? I don't want to go out of my way to like be
But
like,
I
yo,
feel here's the thing.
just
I
making
feel
fun of
like,
him. But like he just keep posting shit, and I'm like, yo, chill.
but I feel like y'all can let him make it at least once. Like
Yeah.
what? Let's
I need him to compete, bro. I need him to compete. I
So,
got some crazy
y'all
stuff
own it.
saved up.
Y'all on his head until he competes.
Yeah,
So-
there's a lot of guys like that, right? Like I
Yeah.
love Taylor Atwood. Taylor Atwood's like 37, bro. He's posting like like a grown ass man. Like that's hunk right there. Like sometimes he just posts like something funny to us younger guys.
Yeah.
Just make fun of him for it, right?
Oh,
Again,
man.
nobody's safe, and it's all love. Like again, Taylor is like one of my favorite powerlifters of all time.
Absolutely. Taylor's the homie. But I knew, I was like, man, like, I mean, one thing I like about Taylor, bro, he's a throwback to, to like just the old school trash talk. Like, you know what? I'm gonna talk it because I've backed it up for so many years. I've been
Taylor
that
had that
dude.
just like era of dominance. And, like even before I was in powerlifting, I had heard of Taylor Atwood before
Big
because he was
facts.
just so good for so long.
Big facts. And so, it's like it's hard. I think it's hard when you're. I mean, you guys are younger, man. So it's hard. When you pass that. I want to say that 34, 35 threshold, and it's like athletically speaking, you're supposed to be on the decline. But as a man mentally, you're still on this incline in terms of your confidence, in terms of really finally figuring out who you are and really knowing what you're capable of. So you're really at a point, almost like a little bit of a point in the darkness where, like, you know what? No one else in here really knows what I'm capable of other than me. I got these young bucks saying that I don't have it, but they don't understand. Like, check my resume. I still got it. I still have that pedigree. So I feel like Taylor's in that. He's in a very unique position in that he still knows what he's capable of. He's probably put up some dummy numbers, but it's
Exactly
like,
right. He's just not posting them.
but the young heads are like, Unk, you don't got it anymore.
Yeah.
You can't talk like you're that dude anymore. But Taylor's like, I've been that dude. You know what I mean? It never stops. So I totally get it. But then it's like, he had that a little spiel, I guess, about Joe and everything, about Joe's performance at Sheffield, and then when he pulled out of the meet, I guess because he got hurt or whatever, I'm like, oh no, this isn't gonna go. This isn't gonna go over well. And it went better than I thought. Honestly, I thought y'all were coming for his head. Like, for real. I really, really did. That's one of the few times I'm like, it's with you guys. I think this is one thing I will say, because I know that it's more it's obviously it's a head, but it's also a team of people, really working together to make something happen. You're very unpredictable in terms of who's going to catch it. Aside from Russ, like I said, I feel bad for Russ because Russ catches it a lot, but you never know who's going to catch it. I thought like, oh, surely Taylor's going to catch it. He's about to catch multiple straights for not being at this meet, not competing, and y'all are. In my opinion, y'all were very gracious because I'm like, I thought it was about to be a wrap. I really, really did. But there was so much other stuff going on when Nats rolled up. Like, I'm like, all right, well, you know what? We'll get to Taylor later. Like, we got a lot of juicy stuff going on.
Yeah,
so,
especially like again, like I like I really don't know too many of the specifics of the Taylor situation, but from what I heard, it sounded like it was more like an injury thing rather than like a lack of training thing.
Right.
Whereas the Russ thing, it was like, here's a 20-year-old. He's coming for your head. Show up and lock in, prove him wrong. And he's just like, nah. And so, like, it was just like, again, like, Russ is one of the greatest of all time. But at the same time, like, there's a new kid on the block. Lock in, prove him wrong. And if not him, bro, Gavin Aiden's still there. Jonathan Keiko's still there. Demetrius, or Meech balled out. Like JM podium. Like, there's, that class was so stacked. We need you there to stand on business. And again, growing up watching Russ, especially, like, this again for like a little bit up until he lost to Jurgens at Worlds. I'm like, why does this guy got such an ego? I know he's winning all the time, but like he's talking his shit. And then after that Jurgens loss and after that move to 93, I fell in love with Russ again because he was just so much more likable. He's like, he got back, brought down to earth. He's like, now I have something to prove again.
Absolutely.
Like, now I'm just not at the top anymore. And I think that's what kind of dragged him back. But once this like pull out from the meet happened, again, like, I don't know the whole all the details.
Yeah.
And again, like, it's something you can more easily poke fun at. Whereas Taylor's situation was like, hey, I'm hurt. And again, Taylor's an older guy, right? He's been in the sport for so long.
Yeah.
And like, again, he's in a new weight class. I get it. And at the end of the day, objectively, the 83s were not as exciting as the 93s. The 93s were just by far the craziest.
Yeah, 93s, that was like it was a throwback of the old 93 battles, man. Like, it was a good time, man. I mean, it's really going to be pretty much, a lot of the same at Worlds. Like, the 93s is kind of back in terms of being that dominant class that people just love to watch. I mean, because it's usually an insanely strong 105 that just died it perfectly, and or it was a super strong 83 that was just a biscuit too heavy to be an 83. So they decided, I'm just going to go to to the 93s and go dummy. Like, it's just such an excitable class. And I guess that's for me, that's always kind of the cool thing to see, that I'm not the only one that thinks these things are exciting, that I'm not the only one that sees, like, Hey man, that was kind of whack that you just posted. Oh, hey, you probably shouldn't have done that.
That's what I'm
I
saying, bro.
just,
Now there's somebody out there be like,
yeah.
don't post dumb shit because I'm watching. I'm watching everyone. And like
When
if I don't got eyes on it, somebody's gonna send it to me because
somebody's like,
if
it's gonna
they
send it
know.
to you, and that's crazy. Okay, so I guess that definitely leads into my next question. Do like how many people just drop dimes to you? Like, hey, you know what? I just saw this, and maybe you haven't seen this. I got to tag you in this, or hey, let me screenshot and send you this.
No, we
Like,
get at least a few a day. Like there's like some big name powerlifters that will send in stuff. Like there's people that have been on like the world stage and like the national level, being like, "Yo, here's some new information on what's going on behind the scenes and like something
what?
going on, right?" And it's because we have the power
Oh,
to hide that information, and you don't know where it's from, and you don't know who I am, and so there's like it's just getting information out there without the repercussions of having that information out there.
and
So this world is so small, right?
The Adam Schefter of freaking powerlifting, dude. That's
Exactly, right.
insane,
That's like a good
man.
way to look at it.
Yeah,
But like say like, hey, I'm somebody who's friends with another powerlifter, right? Or like I'm
yeah,
mutuals with another powerlifter, and she said in a group chat that like, or like he said, she said in a group chat that she
yeah.
popped for drug testing, right? You don't want to leak it outside that group chat. You don't want to know how that
True.
information got out. But if you run it through me, there's no way to trace that back,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
You get
here's the
like,
thing, though. How can one verify? Are you able to verify this stuff before you post it? Because
yeah,
again,
exactly.
okay, yeah. So then that's. I think that was that. That obviously would obviously be my next question. Like in terms of if somebody's going to send you something, do you have a means of following up to make sure
Mm,
you verify this information is correct? Because again, anybody could say any old thing. I mean, if they want to, rub dirt on somebody and be like, "Hey, man, I heard so and so." I mean, because there's some of it can be he say she say, but then
mm,
some of it can be actual factual. Is there a point that you're like, "Hey, all right, let us verify what you're saying is true through whatever means
mm.
is necessary. Once we deem this is true, this is 100%. Boom, then we can post it and or we can talk about what we're gonna do next in terms of our next steps. I mean, do you guys have any like? I mean, that's whack to
I
say,
think
but
it kind of depends on like the severity of it. So like say I think the best example for that is like the time we reported on the French doping thing, and so like
yeah.
the rumor on the street was Lee popped, right? Like the why people were talking about that was the news was somebody popped and Leah had her Instagram disabled. Leah has had her Instagram disabled for like the past like
For
three
what?
months
Yeah,
because she's like she's been like kind of want to take a step back and like kind of
yeah,
take care of herself before she wants to go into powerlifting. Totally respectable, right?
right,
And so like people were like, "Yo, the French just popped," and like again, I don't want to throw out steroid accusations. I don't want to be a page that is like exposing people and holding everyone accountable. This is
right,
all jokes. It's all fun, and if there's truth
right,
behind some of the jokes, that was intended. But I'm not here to like make fun of people, drag people down, drag the sport down, and make
right,
false claims. And so I get information about the French drug testing thing, and again, that's like one of those examples that's like very serious. And so you kind of go and do more research into that. We
yeah.
ended
You
up
gotta do
figuring out who
yeah,
popped on that team, and we were able to like format our jokes in a satirical way to where
absolutely.
like we're not really attacking any lifters. Actually, that's a lie. There's a joke about Pana
Yeah,
fucking like twirling the same thing again. That's a whole other issue. But like as a whole, like we're not trying to like go after the wrong person and saying they did drugs. We're trying to like
right.
get that information out there that somebody on the team popped. Let's make fun of the French while we're at it. So
Yeah, I know. And you know what? The way the whole French situation actually like that was
yeah,
obviously
but
that's
no, we
that's
had
kind
to
of a
go through a
mass.
lot of
No, y'all
hurdles.
did.
Like we talked to a bunch of different people about
Yeah,
who got that information originally, what kind of
absolutely.
paperwork they did, like following up that person directly. Like we got a bunch of information explaining the whole thing, and that's why we were able to post that with confidence, knowing that this
Right.
happened.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
know who
That's
it
dope.
happened to. But
No,
we
that's
had
dope.
people send out stuff and be like, "Oh, somebody in the community did this bad thing." I'm like, "What's your proof?" He's like, "I said so. Here's a screenshot that has no context." And I'm like, "I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna post this. My job
Nah,
isn't to
man.
hold people like my job isn't to like drag people down or be
Nah,
like this
man.
hammer of justice in the community. My job is
Yeah,
to make
like
fun of people, and my job is to grow the sport. And
I mean, they
if
treat you
it's a
like a
hammer of justice
henchman.
because of that, exactly, right?
Yeah. I mean, if the hammer adjustment comes as a result of it, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? As a result of some truth being like put out, then I'm down.
Mm,
You know what I mean? But as far as like like I have a personal vendetta against a person, like oh, you know
mm,
what, so and so said this about me, or
mm.
or they're doing this, that, and the third. Here's a screenshot. Like make it happen. Do what I
Yeah,
totally
there's
get
like,
that.
oh, here, throw up a screenshot of like somebody like saying like something they shouldn't be saying in the group chat, right? Like, I don't care. That's not my job.
So I guess I don't even know. I have so many questions, dude. I mean,
I
so
want to follow up real quick because I think this is
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
relevant.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you talked about, like, one of the big things that I gotta avoid again, like past this, like, whole shit that I got going on with being like this faceless entity, is I'm still somebody that's in the community regularly, right? I have a coach, I have a lot of friends in the community, a lot of people know who I am past the mask. And so it's trying to find a way to hide my personal biases through this, right? I have athletes I like and I have athletes I don't like, and my team
Right,
does too. Like there's some people that I'm not a fan of their sport, and
right,
again, like that's not just to them as a person. I just don't enjoy watching them as a competitor for whatever reason, and it's really a balance of trying to find a way to not let that seep into how I'm posting. And sometimes
right,
it's really hard. Like sometimes I'm just like, I just want to trash this person over and over again because I just don't
right,
like them. But like, it's not the right thing to do, and it's
right,
a bad look to everybody involved. It's a small sport. These people aren't bad people. Like I shouldn't be going after them for no reason.
right,
Just 'cause I don't enjoy watching them. It's powerlifting. It's just picking things up and putting them down. Like,
right.
and so trying to find that balance sometimes is a little difficult, especially like, in the whole heat of it and be like, I want to post something funny.
Oh yeah. Well, have you ever like got to a point where like, you know what, just my bias towards towards this person is just so strong. I need to recluse myself from this particular post, or
Oh
okay,
yeah,
you
100%. That's
guys got it.
happened
Yeah,
a ton of times, even at nationals. Like
yeah.
there's athletes that I just don't like care to watch or don't enjoy how they like hold themselves in
Right,
competition. And again, that's not to say they're a bad competitor or a bad person,
right,
but it's just I don't like it, but I need to make
right,
sure I'm not presenting that outwardly because it's not fair to them.
right.
So,
Well, so oh man, dude. So do you ever? I have so many questions, man.
oh no,
And
you got all the
like,
time in the world. I
do
love
you
answering this.
ever? Do you ever have to have that conversation for those of the people that know who you are or have figured out like, oh, you're like, hey man, keep us on the low. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or have you ever like just kind of been on one man and just been feeling yourself run your mouth a little bit, but have to like, oh shit, I got to double back and make sure. Hey man, by the way, you know who I am and everything. I'm gonna need you to keep that on the low because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
This, that, and the third. Have you ever had to do that, or is just one of the things like it just is what it is?
Yo, crazy story. So I was at the state I'm in. So a lot of people out of my state know who I am, but
Yeah,
in my actual state, like a lot of people really don't, especially in my city. And so I'm out to dinner with my friends. Like we were just watching like
yeah,
some basketball and stuff. And one of my other buddies doesn't powerlift or anything, knows I have this account. He just calls it my
yeah,
powerlifting burning account, right?
yeah.
So he's like, oh, and like we're in front of one of my other buddies who has no idea, but he's a powerlifter. He has no idea who
Right.
runs this page. But like, so my buddy who's not involved in powerlifting, he's like, oh, how's your burner account going? In front of this kid that knows everything about this page, and like this kid just looks at me. He's like, it's you, like you're running this, and so it's like one of those things where like sometimes it just comes randomly comes up,
Yeah.
and like they're not going out of their way to tell people, but it just gets brought up, and it's like, hey, keep it low because one of the big benefits of this page, and I kind of want to like segue into this really, is that even people that do know, in my opinion, should keep their mouth shut because what I do can't happen if people know who I am. Because
Absolutely.
then you know where my biases lie, then you know who I have ties to, and then
Yeah.
like it becomes this whole mess of like, okay, are they posting this thing because their coach doesn't like this person, or like
Right.
and like or do they have biases because this is on their same coaching team as this guy? Like it becomes this whole like ordeal, and it's the sport is so small that there's a lot of consequences to knowing the person behind the
Okay.
mask. And so even like now, I think there's a lot of people, especially at the top of the sport, that know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they've also realized that like, hey, he can't be this accountable entity if I like go public with this information,
There's a
right?
there's an unspoken appreciation for what you
Exactly.
do. Um.
I think I posted something about it really briefly the other day, where like it's the idea of jester's privilege, right? The jester is the most powerful person in the court because he can make fun of the king and not face any consequences.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I can't have jester's privilege if people know who I am, because
Absolutely.
there's just so many ties, there's so many other things involved, and so I'm really grateful for the people that do know and decided like, hey, like I know who it is, but I'm just like not gonna tell anybody. Like this, so, like I get it, and, like I know who he is, and he's like I like maybe he has these other biases, but like what he's doing is good for the sport. I'm gonna
Right.
keep it to myself, and I really appreciate people that do that. So
Be- Bearing in mind that if everyone or if a majority of people know who you are, and you risk the chance, kind of how you said, of them thinking like all the biases come in, because of his coach, because of camp, because of his friends, this, that, and the third. Have you ever thought to yourself, maybe I should stop, or maybe I should, pass this on to someone else for
Oh
just
yeah,
for the
no,
sake of
I've fully
yeah,
considered that. I'm like, again, I'm not at that point, and I don't plan on being at a point where like it gets. I really try to keep it from point for getting so out of hand that I have to reach that point. But
right,
I've already mentally came to terms with, hey, if it reaches a point where like everybody knows the face, everybody knows like if it's I've decided I will step away from the page immediately and pass it on if it reaches a point where it's affecting people I care about. And so, like, that's my coaches or my teammates or my
right,
family or my close friends. The second my image affects their perception in the sport of
right,
powerlifting is the second I'll step away and immediately pass it on to somebody else. I'll just completely step away from this account. I'll go public, hey, say it was me. I'm done here though. Like, you're on your own now. And that's something I'm okay with doing because, like, again, this is something that matters a lot to me, but
right,
in my life, powerlifting is a really small portion of it. In the
right,
grand scheme
right,
of things, powerlifting is not a big thing. But for a lot of people that I'm involved with, powerlifting is their means of life. Like they make all their money
right,
coaching or
right,
like through brand deals and stuff like that. And so I don't need my me being like on the base level just doing shenanigans on the internet to reflect
right,
badly on them, and I don't want my image to reflect them. So if it ever comes to that point, I'm very okay with stepping away from it,
right,
passing it on. Again, I have a team behind me. I could pass it on. Nobody will know who the next person under that mask is. But for right now, even the people that know me, I'm willing to take that heat because I
yeah,
can be the face of it and not suffer repercussions at the same extent
right.
that some of my other teammates will. So,
No, yeah, you can wear it a little bit. No, I
mhm.
that I'm with that. I'm with that. Okay, I guess, man, dude, I'm trying to make sure that I have so many. It's weird. Like you have like a million questions in your head. Like, how can I filter out the ones that I really, really want to ask versus just the ones that I need to ask? Oh man, I don't. I know there's not like a because I feel like different things require a different formula. So
Mhm.
it's so like cliche to ask. So what's the formula? There's really no formula, because I don't feel like it's a one size fits all type formula in
Mhm.
terms of how to post or whatever. I do know timing's a huge part of it all. I guess my question would be, is it one of those type things where you guys create, 4, 5, 10, 12, I don't know, God knows how many, different, different forms of media to post and you decide like, this is the one we're gonna go with? Or
Mhm.
it's just one of those like, hey man, this just came up, all hands on deck, let's get it cracking. Like, like how does it work? Is it one of those things where, hey, guys, I got this, y'all check it out, tell me what you think, or is it one of those things where like you have I mean, I understand you have, because I kind of do the same with a lot of my stuff. You have some in the chamber that you're going to use for later when the
Mhm.
if and when the time is right, but then are there some that you already have ready to rock, like, all right, I'm gonna post this in a couple days, or like how really, I guess, how does that work? I mean, I don't want to know how the sausage is made, but
Mhm.
I'm always curious, like how it all comes about.
Gotcha. Yeah, usually a lot of it's off rip, right? So like,
Yeah,
so the way that I structure my team, especially because I did this in the past, this is how I'd always structure my teams, is I just have people just keep tabs of things they see online as far as just like like base content we can use. So just random clips of people doing stupid shit, not even powerlifting related, just clips and background noise of
right.
funny things on the internet that are getting
Yeah,
clicks, right? And we'll just
right,
keep that in a folder. We'll just keep that running. And across our other channels, we'll get some news about something happening. We go back through all those videos and all those photos that we have. Be like, this applies here. We can use this. We can caption it with something, and we can get this out really quickly because we get that news in a pretty fast way, which is how many ties we have.
right.
And so it's just a matter of picking the photo or video that we need to attach to it and just getting it out as soon as we can. We do keep
That's
like a little
fire.
bit of a storage just in case of like some slow days. Like I know right now, especially with nationals wrapping up, there's not a lot
Yeah,
of like a ton of stuff going on. I mean, we just talked about Rising Tide real quickly, but just regular powerlifting stuff. Oh, I'll make fun of overshooting on a week one. Like we have like
right,
regular base content if we just want to get something out there just to keep the algorithm
right.
pushing. But
Makes
as a
sense. Yeah,
whole, it's very off rip. Like something will pop into my mind, like you know. I knew SZN was dropping singles ahead of time, and what's it called, and like I had an assumption they were going to be bad, but I also had like some stuff saying like I thought they were going to be super sick. But like
yeah,
seeing how some of the other A7 singles, like I really liked them, but I didn't know how they were going to do USA, and I thought they were going
right.
to go kind of overboard. And I was right, and so I had some of that stuff saved up, and I immediately had things ready. And the second like they went public, I could immediately get that out because I already knew it was coming.
Right. Yeah, I was that one caught me off guard
Mm,
because they made bangers for like a lot of other
mm,
countries. You know what I mean? So you know, the one thing I will say with A7, bro, you can't. I will say it 100 times. is they are as patriotic as patriotism comes. Like,
Yeah.
there's going to be as much USA as you can get on that bad boy. There's going to be as much red, white, blue as you can find. I mean, and they don't disappoint that in. Like, so I mean,
Oh god,
if there's ever any doubt you're from the United States, they're like, nah, let me go ahead and put that to bed. You're from the USA. I'm gonna I shout out to Jason Tatiana, man, because I mean they make some phenomenal stuff, dude. It's just,
I know. I love their gear. I still use their knee
dude,
sleeves and everything.
Absolutely, absolutely, some of the best in the world for sure. All right, we're gonna do a quick round of rapid fire, man.
I got you.
I'm not even gonna give you time to think. I'm just gonna throw them at you, and
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. First one. What's the most accurate meme you've ever made? Go.
Oh fuck. I want to say Eve proving all these guys wrong. That's like it's like a real niche one, but like I loved making that, being like, hey, I win. I held it down from open. Put me in prime time. I'm proving these guys wrong. That one and the reffing standards. Some of the reffing standards we saw at Nationals was horrible, man. It was bad.
Man. It was pretty inconsistent, man. I mean, shout out to the good ones though. There's some really good ones.
There's definitely some good refs. There's some really cool people out there, but like, I'm convinced that side angle is fucked up because like there was a lot of asses high on bench. There was a lot of not death calls. And like it was always the same left side, so I'm convinced like there was something wrong with that angle there.
But, it had to be like they were on they were on a bench. They were on a bench block is what it was.
Yeah.
So they just couldn't see. That's all that was. All right, number 2. What's one post that you've made that only real lifters understand?
Oh, like that A7 one with like everything tagged Brian at the end, bro. I love that one. That one's good.
Bro! Yeah.
Like again, if you're not in the community, like you're like, what the fuck?
You don't know. Like
right?
What is that?
But like if you ever tagged A7 in something or you messed them for anything, it's always dash Brian.
Brian,
and like
that's
just one of, like if you know, you know, and if you don't, it's the funniest thing ever.
That is so accurate, man. The thing is, even Brian makes fun of himself. That's the
exactly right. He's like, thank you, and like it's Brian, and like
Brian. Yeah, that was a good one, man. That was a good one. All right. Here's number 3. What is the most overused joke in powerlifting? Go.
Oh fuck, overshooting. I think is super. Like everyone's like, oh, I overshot. I'm like, dude, like you made this joke so many times. I'm overshooting my week 1.
Like,
yeah,
dude,
I think that one's just so used. Like, obviously, you know, you have sumos cheating, bench archers cheating, whatever, right? Like, those are also there, but like, this overshooting thing just makes me so mad. I just like, especially in powerlifting, you see it everywhere.
All right, I'm gonna take it a little step further. So, raw versus equipped, who gets roasted the most?
I want to say, well, like, okay, like you'd want to say equipped, right? Because I think like everyone's like, oh, equipped goofy. But like, if you think about it, like logically, there's just more eyes on Raw, so I'm gonna make more fun of Raw. Like, as far as like pure content, like Raw gets roasted because more people care. Like, equipped nobody. Nobody cares.
Time out the game. I'm taking it out. I'm taking equipped out and I'm putting multiply in.
Like again, it's the same thing though. Like, who the fuck cares about? Like, who's watching multiply?
It's roasted the most. Okay, so we're gonna go with. You go to your standard Raw video, right?
Yeah.
Of a guy, I don't know, squatting 700 pounds, right? You go, because it's so standard now. Guy comes up, squats 700 pounds, like, all right, no big deal, right? A movie seen it a million times at this point, right? And you move on. Meanwhile, you go to the same amount of weight, same gym, same guy. He squats 700 pounds, but he's going multiply. Who gets roasted?
Oh, multiply guy. If you in a suit and wraps, squatting, just lock in, bro. Like at that point, you was wasting your damn time. Like, what do we do? I remember I was at a ref in a regular meet once, dude. Like biggest dude ever. Like he was like a 90. He was on a USAPL meet.
Yeah.
Like whatever big class. I think a 90 was what they have. This dude, like the biggest arms I've ever seen. Like this dude looked like he was juicing, and he had wraps on. And I watched him squat like 396, and I'm like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, why are you running wraps for this? Like, I get
you big dude, get out of that.
But
all
it's
right,
like
last one.
Raps, but
last one. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Oh, I'm scared. You laughing? I'm scared.
All right, PA versus USAPL in a street fight. Who wins?
Fuck, I'm taking. I'm gonna hold it down for my Fed, the PA, but USAPL is smoking their shit. I'm sorry. I've met some of these PA officials. Like, all love to them. They're great people. The average age there is like 65, bro. Y'all getting smoked by the USAPL. USAPL is really good at letting young people climb up a lot faster, so I'm really happy for them about. But
so we got USAPL and a slight lead.
Slight lead. I love. Are you talking about the lifters or like as a Fed?
We're talking about Fed, just Fed. Nothing else, just Feds right now.
Like again, I just USAPL is such a chokehold at the level that like where the majority of lifters are that like they're just better in that way, and that's just how it is. I'm
All
still
right,
taking
so USA, it's fine. I mean, listen,
yeah,
no one cares. You get it. This is your
yeah.
opinion. So USAPL gets the dub.
USA, if it's in a fight, USAPL gets the dub. I'm still holding down for my
Okay.
team though. I'm throwing hands
All
with
right.
PA.
Okay. So USAPL gets the dub, but you're gonna go down the ship with PA.
Yeah,
All right, I'm cool with that. So USAPL versus IPF.
fuck the IPF, bro. IPF can suck.
I was like,
I'm taking PA over IPF. Hell no.
so
I
so
have
street
nothing
fight.
good to say about the IPF, bro.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. All right. So we got
Like
USAPL.
I will give PA credits like where it's due, and like there's a
Yeah.
lot of rules in the IPF where PA is like,
Yeah.
hey, this is stupid. I know one of
Yeah.
the ones that they're tossing around was like Article 14 shouldn't apply to coaches and referees. I'm like, that should makes total sense. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even think it should apply to that many athletes. I'm like, if you're like in the top
Bro,
5% at
listen.
nationals, then I get it. But like,
Nah, man.
who cares?
I was athlete committee coach here when we introduced that to the IPF last year and did all the writing and all that stuff. So coupling myself to, and, along with the committees, whatever, and never really heard anything back. I mean, I wished at the very least they could budge on something like that. I mean, because like at this point, you really, I mean, for those of you mentioned for those of us in the business that do make our money, that do make that keep our lights on, food on our food in our kids' bellies, clothes on our backs from powerlifting. It makes it hard to really make a check when you're like, all right, man, you can't go to said meets because of the whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get into all the mumbo jumbo behind it, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not competing at the meet, but I have 8-9 people competing at this meet. They need a coach, so but I can't step foot in this place for fear of what that I'm gonna. I don't know, man. I've
Yeah,
never
no, I've
got
heard some
that.
crazy stories, bro. Somebody will snap like again, there's a lot of people that know who I am, and like if I'm
Yeah.
not careful, like if somebody snaps a photo of me just walking around at a USAPL meet, like who knows what can happen, especially if they
No,
like get
man,
down to
been
this
there.
level. So
But when we were in the USAPL, I was gonna do a meet. I didn't even at that point. I was just on the. I wasn't even signed up for the meet. They just had me on the marquees. Like, hey, this one of the guys is gonna be lifting the meet, and I got a call. Like literally, I got a call, an email, and a text from the national office when we were under the USAPL. I'm like, hey man, you can't do that meet because you're gonna be in violation of Article 14. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I don't even know what you're talking about. And like they like sent me a snapshot of what like my name on the program. And I was like, bro, this is the first I'm hearing about it. But now that you mentioned, like, I can win 15K from this meet. Now that I know, like, but I mean, what are you offering that type of scratch at your meets? No, you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, what am I? Like, what am I violating? Who am I violating? And if you're that scared of me being, doped up or being under, whatever, like, then drug test me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like, just drug test me. Matter of fact, have somebody sitting there. You've had them sitting at my house before. You know what I mean? Like literally, man, I used to have people like literally sitting on my couch watching TV with me because I can't pee yet, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we're homeboys for the next 24 hours, brother, because I can't pee, bro. I got nothing for you. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're that concerned about me being doped up, if you're that concerned about me taking performance-enhancing drugs, you know what I mean? Like, just chill at my crib then. Or follow me to this meet. Or, like, how about you drug test me as soon as this meet's over with? Or if you're afraid, God forbid, that I'm taking something, that's not according to WADA while I'm coaching one of my lifters at this nationals, how about you drug test me in the bathroom while I'm coaching? I'm like, what are we going to do? Like, I don't know. Like, that part I just don't get, man. So, I mean, a lot of coaches are really having to make a choice. I mean, there's a whole, set of, 5 and 6, 7, damn near 10 nationals that I can't go to that my people are at because of Article 14. What I mean? But, you kind of know what you signed up for, but still, at the same time,
It's definitely a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and then you get mad, you know what I mean, when, like, accounts like yours, like, start making fun of it, poking fun of it, like, ripping it apart. Like,
That's like one of our end goals, really. Just like having that unifying force attacking these things to be like, hey, this is bullshit, and then seeing how many people agree that this is just straight bullshit, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, outrage galvanizes masses, bro.
Yeah.
And so, it's really one of those things where, while I would love to be able to voice how I really, really feel about these things, to an extent, like, you know what? I'm past unk status, dog. Like, I got a lot of stuff to lose, and I have that power of anonymity. Like, bro, you can go ham on people,
That's what I'm
And so
saying.
I'm
I
like,
think that's one
speak
of the
for
biggest
us, yeah,
benefits of it.
yeah, yeah.
Just like
That part I totally
being a
get.
voice for people that have a lot more to lose than I do.
Yeah,
So
man. Like some on some V from Vendetta type. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like it's dope. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's dope. It's dope.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to think. I guess it's just it's hard because just talking to you, man, and picking up on your inflection, just how you speak on things, man. Like
Hmm.
you can tell that you just have like a natural. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a natural, like dissecting sense of humor.
Hmm.
I guess that'd be the best way to put it. Has that always been like a thing that you've had, or is that something that you've just? I mean, obviously you've worked on different projects in the
Hmm.
past, but I mean, it's just like you have this. I don't know, man. I mean, and I'm not Dr. Phil by any stretch. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I just like just talking to you, just like the way you talk, the way you speak on certain things, the way you say stuff. I'm like,
Hmm.
this dude's just like I feel like you dissect stuff like a very high level. Again, I mean, I had my suspicions of who you were, but definitely not who I thought you was.
Hmm.
So that's dope. You know what I mean? Like job well done.
Yeah.
But also just talking to you, like I just pick up on this like high level thinking, this high level of like dissecting humor. Have you always been that way, or is that like something that you've worked on, or
That's great.
like
I actually never been asked that, and like it's really funny you asked. So like I'm honestly I'm someone like I've always struggled with like anxiety growing up, and like
yeah,
yeah, like I had like a lot of trouble just like even just talking to people. But like
yeah,
once I'm in that state of like I'm more comfortable, I've always been somebody who just can
yeah,
get it off rip. And
right,
I grew up in a lot of different communities, and so I was able to kind of pick up pieces here and there,
yeah,
like how I was raised, and I think that all kind of culminated together in a way where like I use humor to kind of express myself to kind of get past that anxiety, and
yeah,
especially with
yeah,
the
yeah,
mask now. I mean, like I've been through a lot since then, and I'm a lot better about it now. But the humor's always stuck with me, and I've always had like this sense of humor where like it doesn't exactly click immediately, but once it clicks, and it's just
yeah,
hilarious all the way through. And especially with the mask, it kind of takes away that anxiety feeling as well, like that state of anonymity. And so I can just kind of get it out there over and over and
yeah.
over. And so yeah, even over like the last like I would say 5 years, it's something I'm like it's been like one of my defining traits. So I'm really grateful that you noticed that. I've never even thought of it like that.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know. I mean, I think it's weird to. I don't even know that it's weird to say, but it's weird to see somebody like that's really in the midst of their calling and you know kind of understand it's their calling, but not really realize like, bro, this is your calling. Like
Hmm.
this is a skill that you've been blessed to be able to do because not everybody can do this.
Hmm.
And there's a reason why and it's no disrespect to these other pages because I mean they really were groundbreaking. They are groundbreaking. They still put out a lot of good content. But there's a lot of people that try to do what you do, and they don't do it as well.
Yeah. I think one of the big things
And
is like there's been a lot of people popping up around, especially that we've gained traction so quickly where people are trying to copy the content. Like
yeah,
they're trying to copy the structure and like
yeah,
try to get away with it. But I think where we differ is again, we have so many ties in the sport to where our
yeah,
information comes faster. It's just how it
yeah.
is.
Well,
But
and I
on top of
think
that, kind of just pushing the envelope of like
yeah,
what counts as powerlifting content.
absolutely. Well, and I think at this point we do. The one thing I will say about our side of this powerlifting world, as flawed as we may be, we have a tendency to kind of gravitate toward our own and take care of our own. And especially and once we kind of deem like no, these are our people. Like
Mm,
a lot of people can come in and try to repeat the same thing, but the original sauce is the original sauce. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like, there's only one Dr. Pepper. You know what I mean?
Mm,
There's only one KFC. There's been a ton of different colas that have come in, a ton of different chicken places that have come in that claim they have the herbs and spices, but it's not the same. Like, there's a reason why the OG is the OG.
yeah.
And I think that's been the cool thing is like I've seen people try to do. They can damn do exact same, almost exact same post, almost not necessarily verbatim, but almost like I mean edit verbatim,
Mm,
but it doesn't have the same effect. I
yeah.
mean, and a lot of it's because you kind of recognize the original, and again, we're very quick to be like, nah, because why don't you credit the source?
Hmm.
We've seen this before, type.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
I've
think
literally
that,
been tagged in other people's posts like
yeah,
IPF Central did it first. And I'm like,
yeah, man,
I didn't even see this post. Like somebody else
yeah.
tagged me in it. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like people
But
say this
that's
like
great, yeah,
yeah.
man. Like and I guess with that being said, are we changing the logo or is the logo gonna stay the same?
I put up a poll. I haven't checked the results, but I think like that SBD alternate logo has been doing pretty well. And I think that like on like a long term run, I might be able to get around copyright laws a little bit better with keeping that
I
one.
was like, man, good
Like I'm
luck.
tiptoeing real close with the old one,
Yeah,
and so I might keep the new one for now. I'm kind of rocking with it. I got a Ski Mask alternate logo sitting in the works. I
yeah,
got
I
a bunch
like
of
that
cool stuff
idea.
coming up. I really one of the things with a lot of this logos and even the monetization side is I really don't want to like again this is a lot of fun for me and I do want to like have something come out of it, but I don't
Right.
want to monetize in a way that I'm just like it looks like I'm making money, right?
True
Like I
story.
don't really
True
want to
story.
like be like, oh, buy my t-shirts because I need
No,
money.
no,
Oh,
no,
use
no,
my
no.
promo codes because I need money. Like the products that I do have promo codes for Peak Apparel and 110 are brands I genuinely support. I like their business practices, I like their business models, and I like their
Yeah,
product that they're selling. And I'm
yeah,
okay with pushing these things because I care about them, right? I would never
absolutely.
go like how like an Odyssey bench mat because I think it's a fucking useless product. Like I think the
Right,
bench mats are stupid. Like go buy a baking sheet, does the same thing, right? Or like I'm
right,
never gonna sell out and be like a call sheet, like a rain bet. Like these things aren't powerlifting related. And I don't
right.
support their message or their product. I don't care how big that check is. I want to stay true to my morals because I think that
Right.
matters a lot, especially in a sport this small.
Yeah, I mean, if it's stuff that I don't use or something I can't support something that I don't use. I'm not
Mm,
gonna try to make a buck off something I don't use. I'm with you. I
mm,
man, yeah, the emails that you get, the stuff that comes across your table. You know
mm.
what I mean? The deals you can be offered, man. Like all the glitters isn't gold. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's cool that the popularity is growing, man. And even like old head like myself, dude. Like like I get offers for do all kind of weird stuff, dude. I'm like, man, this ain't really me. So the
Mm,
fact that you already kind of tuned in with that, that's
mm.
huge. Because I don't see this page, this account. I don't see it like slowing down anytime soon. I
Oh
feel like
yeah, absolutely not.
the momentum's picking up crazy.
I think
And
right now it's going to be our slow season. We're like what, like 7-ish weeks off from junior nationals. So
yeah,
junior and masters will be real big for us. I'll probably
yeah,
post something up for firefighter and then college that's coming up this weekend.
yeah,
The Nats is coming up. Rising Tide and like that stretch of invitational meets is going to be really grow. And I've been talking to a lot of these meet directors that are running these invitational meets, and I think part of me growing as this like not even just as a brand but growing that sport is kind of taking Sentinel and just moving it past this faceless entity on the internet,
yeah.
having this person show up at these meets and just be doing
Absolutely.
the same kind of bullshit he does online.
No,
But
for sure.
I've
Yeah,
been
like I
talking to
said,
Kevin,
dude.
I've been talking to like what's called the
Yeah,
guys
like
at Just the Bar, like there's
yeah,
been a lot
man.
of talks about stuff where
What?
might pop out of these places and
Yeah,
mess around a
man,
little
for
bit.
sure. Like I said, I host. I just put in a couple more sections. I got like 3 more that I'm putting in by the end of the year, man. You're more than welcome. Anytime you ever want to come down to Texas, we got you, dog. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
perfect.
Like get you down to Houston. We'll get you right, man. If you want your own invitational, you let me know. We'll get you straight. At the very least, you definitely deserve to. I honestly I feel like that's one of the next steps, dude. I feel like to have your own invitational, dude. I mean, how nerve wracking would that be? Like, dude, if I mess up here, it's a wrap. Like it's
Oh
right
no, like
there.
we were talking about it. Me and Kevin
Yeah,
making
man.
jokes about me doing commentary for Rising Tide, and like I didn't even
Yeah,
think of it
man.
before, but it was just like I have to hide every indication on my personal pages that I'm going to be at
Yep.
Rising Tide, just
Yep.
so nobody knows who's there. I can't be showing up. I
Yeah.
can't be talking to my friends that are there. Like I gotta like
Yeah. You're gonna have to
once
be
you get to the in-person
completely.
level, it's a whole other ball game.
Yeah, man. Like you're gonna have it at least a couple of fans. You know what
Mm,
I mean to make sure you stay cool because
yeah,
it's hot. Those lights are hot. You're gonna be
yeah.
masked up. Ah,
No,
man. It's doable though. I feel like it's very
it's
very
doable.
doable.
I've definitely been practicing it. Even like getting into these kind of podcasts helps a ton. I got a bunch of other stuff queued up, but just kind of getting out there and getting some work in, just being under the spotlight. So
That's awesome, dude. I'm excited for you, man. Like you know what I
hey,
mean.
I
I
appreciate
think
it.
I think it's just fun, man, to see somebody having so much fun, somebody so passionate about it, man. And I'm glad you shared about your anxiety. I'm glad
Mm.
you shared that part, man, because to see somebody to go from battling with that because it's not one of those things like it just automatically goes away. That's something you have to work on. That's
Oh yeah,
a
100%.
lifetime. Yeah, that's something you work on like your whole life. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like so to see how far you've come, in such a short amount of time, and knowing that you have so far to go, but to see how successful you are
Mhm.
just right now at this point in your young life, dude. I'm hyped for you. I really really am hyped for you.
Hey, I appreciate it so much, man. That means a ton
Yeah,
coming from a
man.
legend in the game.
Dude, I'm not a legend. I'm just old, dog. It's been around a little bit. That's all that is. That's just another word for being old. I tell you, I'm past unk. Before we get to the final 3 questions, man, I want to give you the floor to talk about whatever you want to talk about any grievances you may have, any things that you may have seen, some stuff that you want to get off your chest. I'm gonna give you
Oh
open
fuck,
floor.
do I got anything crazy? Yeah.
I mean,
Oof.
if you don't, that's fine. I mean, here's the thing: the cool thing, those that have been on the podcast, once you come on, you have an open invitation anytime you want to like, hey, dog, I got something I want to get off my chest. All right, bet. Well, you know what? Let me know when you're. Oh, I'm open on Monday. All right, we'll just put something up on Monday,
All right,
and
perfect.
then you can say yeah. So anytime you want, the platform's always yours, man. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you. So yeah,
I
if you
think
got
let's
anything,
go. I think going forward, as far as our like long-term outlook on trying to grow this page, keep the content pushing, keep it at that quality standard that we have. I don't want to like,
hmm
just be taking ad posts and throwing up random shit for no reason.
right,
But like, kind of going at it in a way that we're still growing this sport, right? So I'm really
right,
proud of like the stuff that we did with 110 to get Rising Tide's name out there a ton. I'm really happy with
right,
the stuff that we did with Just the Bar Classic to get their name out there a ton. Like these meets are high quality productions that grow the sport at a state
right,
level, and that's where the people that are competing at this national and international level are coming from. And that's
right.
something I really pride myself on, and that's something I really want to keep pushing. And then like have that be a big part of what IPF Central does. We are a voice for people that may have issues, within the sport, but also kind of uplifting people at that lower level and putting them on a stage where the entire sport benefits.
Love it. That's badass, dude.
Appreciate
God,
it,
man,
man.
that's
Yeah,
awesome, man. Well, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This has been dope, dude.
this
It's
has been
just
fun.
like I'm trying. I'm so bad, and like I'm one of those. I'll have a 4 hour podcast like it's nothing, man. Just because
Mhm.
like I want to know everything, man. But then I'm like I try to be a respecter of people's time. So I'm trying to be a respecter of your time. Listen, I'm telling you right now. At some point, you're gonna get a like, hey, man, it's time to come back. I got some more stuff to talk to you about.
Hey,
So
I'm
don't be.
super down. We'll hop on like
Yeah,
a junior nationals, maybe like
yeah.
a world's preview
Well,
show. I'm
yeah,
super
you
down.
know what? Let's make plans of maybe doing a post junior old head nats, a pre world. So we'll do something in that time, man. By that time, you'll have hella material.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
kind of
100%.
we'll have an idea of who's gonna be there for sure because final noms will be done,
Mm,
and then we can really start going in on some people. Or I
perfect.
mean you. Until then, we're going to our 3 traditional questions.
All
Here
right,
we
perfect.
go. Question number 1. If you were stuck on a deserted island, what are 3 things you would bring with you and why?
Oh fuck. All right, like one of those like generic survival kits. I think that's important to have.
All right.
Like what's it called? Obviously, like I'm gonna
A
go with the
survival
two.
kit.
Yeah, the survival kit. Like I'm gonna go with the
Okay.
two obvious ones, like a survival kit and like maybe like a satellite walkie-talkie. Just have it
Okay.
in one day.
Yeah.
Maybe it might work, right? My
Right.
my crazy one though, I just need like a speaker, like a wireless Bluetooth speaker with everything, like all my playlists loaded in there with like a solar panel, and so it just keeps running.
That's yes. Okay.
I
All
like
right.
otherwise I'm going insane over there, bro. I need something.
I gotta have something. You know what? Here's the thing. I've heard some awesome stuff, man. I've heard some awesome stuff every time I ask that question. I've never really thought about having a playlist.
Mm.
If I can make it, if I can have a playlist, I mean, that would be hard though, because like I
But like you
have,
gotta think about it, like logically, like say like get stranded out there right now, right?
yeah,
The speakers that we got, they can hold all your playlists. They got like you just download everything onto there, and
big
like even if you took
facts.
my entire library right now, there's like thousands of hours of music just
Yeah. Oh
saved
yeah.
in
My
there.
library now is nasty. Oh yeah.
Exactly right. You just like say like
Yeah.
you fell off right now, it's all the offline on a speaker that just gets charged over and over again, like sunlight. Like
That's
that'll
what I
just
mean. Something to
obviously
get
you
me
might
through
get
the
tired of it
night.
eventually, but there's just so much stuff in there that you haven't heard in years. Like you'll
True
be all right.
story. Yeah. I should be good. I like that. Survival kit, Bluetooth speaker. What was the other one you said?
A little like satellite phone, like a walkie-talkie
The
or something,
satellite. Well, yeah. Oh, it's a
just in
wrap.
case. Yeah,
Just, I mean, it just takes one. Just takes one wave. Just
yeah,
somebody. Mayday, mayday. I'm stuck on
yeah,
this island. Which one? I don't know. Come find me. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
with that. Listen for the music. But
yeah.
the thing, yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. Those are solid 3. I'm with that. All right then. Number 2. Who is on your life's or lifting Mount Rushmore? The 4 most influential people for you right now.
I'm gonna go with lifting right now, just because it's on topic.
Yeah.
And like again, I'm a younger guy, so I might be a little biased here. But like as far as like my 4, like by far my most enjoyable, they might not have the biggest impact yet, or like, but my 4, Taylor Atwood, I would say.
Facts.
Russ, just because of the impact he had, bro. Like after like you see some dude squat like 800 pounds with Jordans, no matter what you're doing, you're like, damn, what the fuck?
Yep.
So Taylor Russ, this is where I like people get a little crazy about it. I'm putting Avery Jackson on my Mount Rushmore because
Okay.
I think Avery Jackson obviously is a very talented lifter, right?
Yeah.
But I think it put on the stage that, hey, you don't gotta take this too seriously. Like
Yeah.
I love watching Avery Jackson because he's just at the end of the day, all of us are just regular guys, but he makes it known that like this lifting thing is just fun for him. The way he posts,
Yeah.
the way he holds himself, like
Yeah.
yeah, he good at it, but like it's all for fun at the end of the day. Don't take this too
Right.
seriously.
Big facts.
Will balls by four. Like that man is. I'm sorry. Like all the Glaze world, Will balls four. I have never seen.
Dang!
I don't know if you saw at Nationals. He weighed in at 91, man.
No, I saw. I was there.
Like oh my god. Like I was watching that. I'm just like, there's just no way. Like I don't know where the ceiling is. It was actually just that insane to see in person. And so like, yeah, maybe it's early in his career. Yeah, maybe like he's still 20. Man, we don't know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
But what I've seen so far, oh my god. Like
No, dude, he's
I don't know where the
impressive.
ceiling is.
He's impressive. I need, you know what? I need to have him on. I just,
Mm.
you know what I mean. I'm just, I'm just studying him a little. I think I study him a little bit more, like, because like it's just, he's so talented, man. And he
Mm.
seems like he's such a nice kid, dude. Like
He
he
really
seems like
is.
he's so nice, man. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know. Like I want to, I want to see him go to Worlds,
Mm.
wreck. I really want to see him wreck at Worlds, man. And then,
Even now, even like we're still talking, like there's just so many good people up there. Like I love Elliot. Elliot's a great guy. I love
oh
Perk.
yeah, well yeah, Elliot's coming on, and he's coming on
Yeah,
in a few days.
he's a
Like
great kid. I
he
love
is.
him.
God, there's so here's the thing. I like Elliot a lot. Big shout out to Gavin Aiden. Gavin Aiden is one of my favorite people walking the planet.
Mm.
I mean, it's no secret. And Gavin he actually put me on to Elliot. I knew of Elliot, and I watched him lift, and I mean, I was impressed with him. I thought he was hilarious. I love confidence, man, and I love
Mm.
anybody that's that confident in themselves. And he's great for the sport. He's just got energy for days. And Gavin's like, this is a guy you need to have on. I'm like, you think? You think he'd rock with me? He's like, yeah. He's like, Elliot, come here and introduce. I'm like, hey man, love you having you on. I'm like, seriously? Dude, let's do it. I'm like, all right, that's it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so,
that kid's got so much passion about the
his
sport.
upside, yeah, man. And we need that. We really like it's weird because like I've been in the sport for, 11, 12 years now, and it feels like I've like been in the sport forever. And I know there's been people in it way longer than me, but I started doing it late. But I did a lot of research prior to getting into it, and I remember looking at the Gene Bells and the David Ricks, and oh man, I mean there's there's Lamar Gantz. There's a ton of just legends that were in it, way before I got started,
Mm.
and realizing like that this was the golden age. Bill Kazmaiers, this is the golden age of powerlifting, and realizing like, hey, you know what? I mean, it may never be as popping as it was then. Because we were on CBS. Back in those days, I mean, that's even before my time. Like, to be on a major, that was when like there was really like 10 and 15 channels only. CBS
Yeah.
is one of those, and powerlifting was like main stage on CBS. CBS Sports. That was the golden age of powerlifting, and now I feel like we're fastly approaching our own golden age of powerlifting. I feel like we had a little glimpse of it, a little taste of it when Ray squatted that 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Like early on in his career, and everybody, including the world's strongest men, were all posting about Ray, squatting and everything. And I felt like, then I wish, I really wish your account would have been around then, because I really feel like they did Ray a huge disservice by not pumping him as much as they could have, not really, putting him out there as much as they could have, because we could have very well have been on your ESPNs and your Fox Sports by this time. But I felt like he just got used and really just kind of propped up as like, here's our 1,000-pound squatting trophy, but that was it. They never did anything else with him or for him. Meanwhile, you have strongmen, as soon as, Eddie pulls 500, I mean, they boom, 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 it's everywhere. When Thor, pulls 500 plus, boom, 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 it's everywhere. Hell, even when Jamal, a powerlifter was pulling,
Yeah.
pulling 5, they had Jamal. You know what I mean? Like, and I felt like, I still to this day feel like we could have done more for the sport when Ray was on I mean, this dude was on ESPN, bro. What are we talking about?
My
And we
big
didn't-
theory is that, especially in powerlifting, COVID is what saved the sport. I think powerlifting was in a downward trajectory up
Yeah,
until
man.
2020. And when everybody's locked at home and you can't go to the gym, what
Nope.
everybody's always got is a barbell and weights. If you got equipment, that's what you got,
Talk
right?
about it. Talk
And
about
so
it.
people just like that's what they get into. And maybe all of people
Yep.
don't start powerlifting, right?
Yeah.
But
They pick
what
up a
else?
barbell.
But you pick up a barbell. The other thing people don't
Facts.
think about, what picked up during that time was TikTok. TikTok and Instagram Reels were popping,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
And
man.
so you see this over and over of people lifting heavy shit with the
Yeah,
barbell
dude.
all over your feed, right? I think that's what spiked
TikTok,
the sport.
Instagram, people started trying to go YouTube Live.
Mm,
Twitch went bonkers, dog.
hmm
Like, and you started seeing more and more. You saw more and more, like, I want to say regular people lifting
hmm
heavier weight and being exposed to lifting heavier weight. But then you saw a lot of your favorites, starting to learn how to stream.
hmm
And like, hey, you know what? We got nothing else to do. You're locked in your, you're locked in your house. You come watch me lift because you can't lift. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But as soon as people were able to breathe that fresh air, boom, they were gone. They were going to
exactly.
every gym that you could go to. They were selling all their home gym equipment and getting into gyms, dude. I mean, and it's definitely, I mean, you can say, well, you call it conspiracy if you want. I mean, I feel like I got stronger after the shot, bro. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I had the
I'm
same
sorry.
boat.
But yeah, like I agree though. I mean, that's a really good take on it. Like, I feel like we're in an age now where this is our golden age, and if
Mm,
it's not our golden age, we're fastly approaching our golden age. It's just, I mean, people have never been stronger in such a massive amount,
mm,
and you know, I feel like you guys have positioned yourselves in a very, very good, just really in a very good spot in terms of, there has to be an all-seeing eye that sees as much as possible and reports as much as possible and holds
mm.
as many people as accountable and does it in such a funny way that it's very relatable, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily crush dreams. And y'all have
Exactly.
done a great job about, indirectly lifting people up, directly lifting people up, but at no point are you crushing people's dreams.
Exactly.
If at any rate, you pretty much report the dreams that have been crushed, and like you know what, there must be justice. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I
it's
think I'm giving everybody a platform, and it's up to them
absolutely
how they're gonna move past that, whether
all
that
right.
be good or
It's
bad.
yeah. So before I get to the last question, here's my question. I know that the juniors they definitely get their love. The youngers they get their love, right? The open people they gotta get love, because that's be honest, that's powerlifting bread and butter. When are the old heads gonna start getting love? That's the question.
I gotta tap in, man. Like
You gotta
I think
tap
being
in, bro.
at math or it's called age divs is gonna real.
Yeah,
'Cause
look at
again,
you,
I've only
right?
been in what's called because I was in the USAPL for a while,
Yeah.
and I've only really been in PA for like last couple of years, and I think that's just one of those markets I really want to like. Not, I don't want
Oh
to say
yeah.
it's, but like that's one of like a demographic I really want to
No.
kind of get into
Oh
because these
yeah.
people deserve their flowers too. There are very people.
It's yeah, it's cool. I think you'll enjoy that. It's just weird, man, because like when you think about it, 5 and 6 years from now, a lot of your top level open lifters is going to end up being masters,
Exactly.
and you know what I mean. Like, and with them, it's obviously going to come the following, is going to come the notoriety, and I think that's what's going to really push powerlifting to
Mm,
that next level when your Russes and when your I mean, you have like Lane Norton and stuff, but Mike Teixeira. But when your Russes and when your Rays and when a lot of these guys that are in their 30s going to be up in their 40s, and I mean most likely going to still be lifting, and
mm,
still going to be strong, they're going to be taking that following with them. They're going to be taking those high points of maturation with them,
mm.
and that's a whole different demographic that hasn't really been they really been touched. At the same
Yeah.
time, that audience they're going to be older, and
Mm,
so you're going to get those ever refreshing younger strong guys coming in. I feel like when when your full base is covered, I feel like that's when the huge impact is made. Because let's be honest, the money spent is not being spent by the young heads. It's being spent by
yeah.
the people, the 30 plusers. So I think that's really going to help propel the sport too. So I feel like we're like two gens away from really really seeing powerlifting growing into something like
Yeah.
absolutely
I'm
crazy.
excited, bro. I love being
And
part of it.
yeah,
I'm glad
and
we
I
got
think
in.
I think you guys are going to be I think you came at the perfect time. So the last question before I get you out of here, it is: if you were stuck in an alley, gun to your head, the only way you make it out of this alley alive is you got to give 15 uninterrupted seconds of a song. What song would it be, and could you perform it 15 seconds straight without missing a beat?
Yeah, I got it. Let me pull it up. Let's see if your audience knows it. I'll go bar for bar right now. Hold on. Let's get her done. Oh,
You take your time. You take your time.
how well you know your Fallout boy?
Get out of here, guy. I'm with
I'm
you.
locked in. Ready?
All right, you're on.
All right, we gotta wait till it gets there.
Are you able to get to the hook?
Yeah, I got a little emo white boy left in me.
I grew up on the
This is a
emo,
go-to
dude.
karaoke.
Oh,
All right, here we go. We got. Am I more than you bargained for yet? Been dying to tell you anything you wanna hear, 'cause that's just who I am this week. Lie in the grass next to the mausoleum.
yeah.
I'm just a notch in your bedpost, but you're just a line in the song. Drop, make a name while you're sleeping in and sleeping for the team. We're going down, down in the new year in sugar. We're going down swinging. I'll be another one with the bullet. A loaded God complex, cocky and pull it. We're going down, down in the new year in sugar. We're going down swinging. I'll be another one with a bullet. A loaded God complex, cocky and pull it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
for
talking
sure.
about. Listen, that's a karaoke staple.
That is.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped being able to put this together, man. We pulled it off. Dude, I just cannot wait to see what else you guys have in store.
Oh, get ready,
you know,
man. These next couple months are about to be fun for everybody.
I'm excited, like you said. Well, I'm gonna definitely make sure I circle back around and get with you about having you guys back on. I mean, I don't know if we get maybe another member of the crew. I don't know.
That's what I was saying. Maybe we get another member in here.
Yeah, man, and we just make it bonkers, man. Yeah. I mean, and who knows? It might be pandemonium, man. I might bring one of my people with. I don't know. Who knows?
Get me and Elliot in here. Elliot knows who I am. Get me and Elliot in here.
Oh no! You know what? I'm gonna talk to him about that. That might be That that might be the one. Like, so you were saying prior, I don't have to change your voice, or am I good to change your voice?
Go ahead. So little thing for everybody to kind of hold on to. I will be at a lot of these high level meets. I will be at Junior Nationals. I will be at Rising Tide. I will be through the Texas area for some of those invitational meets. What I'll be doing in those areas, I don't know. But again, they're gonna be able to find out my voice there because I'll be up and down doing things. So no need to change my voice. I'll be on live, Instagram live, not changing my voice there anyway. If somebody wants to go through all the effort to figure out who I am and track me down, all the power to you. It's gonna take you a minute, but and just know, even if you figure me out, there's a lot of people behind that curtain, and I ain't gonna tell you what I'm putting out, what else they're putting out. So
if you think, how about this? If you think you know who he is, you think you can figure it out, I will give you a week from the time this podcast drops to DM me, tell me who you think it is. I'm not gonna say yes or no. I'm not gonna say no or yes. I will not confirm, nor will I deny, but I will pass it on to let him know who you think it is, and if it is, I don't know. Maybe I'll throw some merch at you. I'm not sure yet, but either way, let's see who you think it is. I'm not gonna lie, man. I am so stoked. I'm so honored. This has been an absolute treat. This has been a mental vacation.
This has been great. I appreciate you having me on. This was super
fun. Absolutely, man. I was glad you made the comment. I'm like, you know what, man? Yeah, let's do it. And I told my partner, he's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, man. We're gonna make this happen, man. So, is there anything? I mean, before we go, is there anything you want to say to the people?
I mean, I appreciate everybody's support. Again, I'm super grateful for how fast we grew, and I'm grateful that everyone, still engages with our content really heavily. Again, if we ever, go back on who we are and what our mission is, I hope the community holds us accountable for that. But for right now, I'm real thankful for everybody. I'm really thankful for the way we're growing, and I do want to stay true to our mission and make sure we're keep doing what we are doing and keep growing the sport.
How can you be reached?
I'm pretty chronically online. Shoot me a DM, man. I'm always on my phone. So if anybody's got anything to say, just shoot me a DM.
Oh man, we did it.
We made it.
We got him. We got the man, the myth, the legend, the person hiding behind the shadows, the eye in the sky that never lies. Ladies and gentlemen, IPF Central.
Appreciate it, bro.
That's fire. That is fire. All right.